Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
All right, let's see what we have on the table today that you might want to take a closer look at. And let's welcome Danko. Good morning.
Good morning, Ryan. Happy hump day. It is finally Wednesday. Looking forward to the long weekend. Now, let's get you started with companies to watch. That's a segment where we spotlight and stock you up with ideas of listed companies that will call for your attention. So we're looking at market trends and risks, maybe even hidden gems or warning signs to steer clear of. So 8855-0893 and tell us whether you think it's going to be a hot or not. Ryan, you ready?
Yeah, what is catching your eye these days?
Okay, Ryan, how much do you know about your ancestry?
I know that my grandpa came from China. That's about it.
Oh,
So
grandma?
Is that enough?
Further back, perhaps?
Okay, further back, I'm not sure. But some people say I don't look very Singaporean, so I'm not sure what to say about that. Maybe I've got some exotic roots somewhere.
You do look a little exotic to me, Ryan.
Yeah.
Very handsome indeed. Now, perhaps do you like cilantro, Ryan?
No.
No. Oh, so maybe would you be interested to know how your DNA influences your facial features, your taste
okay.
and smell?
I would imagine to some extent, right? Because you would imagine some folks from some places would have a certain inclination towards certain flavors.
Yeah.
And they will grow up with a certain trait of sorts.
Yep, and the way I think, even the sunlight, how it responds to their skin, that depends on the type of DNA that you have. And for just $119, you get a chance to unveil the secrets of your DNA and find out the true meaning why you hate cilantro so much, Ryan.
For those who want the truth.
For those who want the truth. 23andMe, that's a genetics and health company that helps you access and understand and benefit from the endlessly interesting and diverse things your genetics can tell you. And apparently, it can break out across 4,000 over regions worldwide and can even help you discover relatives from near and far with their DNA relative finder. So that sounds cool and all that, but it doesn't seem like it's a very cool space to watch as of now because we're looking at a potential data breach. Would you like it if someone found out about your ancestry roots, Ryan?
I'll be okay.
Things
What do I have to hide? But yeah.
Oh, you're pretty open personally, huh?
Are you worried if someone did find something?
I think it depends. If anyone might use that data against me, then that's something that's concerning. So this came as, the 23andMe filed for bankruptcy in the US on Sunday after struggling with weak demand for its ancestry testing kits and a 2023 data breach that damaged its reputation. So shares have fallen more than 80% since the start of the week after co-founder Anne, who made multiple failed takeover bids, had resigned as CEO. So this pretty much puts millions of Americans to send their saliva to 23andMe in the hopes of finding lost relatives and identifying health risks that are buried in their DNA, potentially seeing their genetic information sold to the highest bidder as part of the company's bankruptcy. So essentially, you are like a product.
Yeah, so you mentioned millions of Americans. So that was actually quite a big thing for some fad going on. People sending in their saliva samples to find out more about the DNA and the roots. But then it did not seem like a sustainable model, and they are going through some very tough times and now bankruptcy.
It seemed more like a hype, I think, when it first hit the market with everyone interested. And you've probably seen multiple social media accounts just posting about their ancestry roots. But that puts more than 15 million customers' data on sale on May 14th. That's the auction date that 23andMe had set. And it shines light on an aspect of corporate restructuring that receives relatively little notice from the general public until moments like this, whereby customer data is a valuable asset that often changes hands in Chapter 11, including patient information from bankrupt hospitals or nursing homes, as well as customer data from failed retail chains.
That's right.
So that did raise a lot of concerns from social media users and thinking about what it could mean for their personal information and for their families. But apparently, a 23andMe spokesperson said that customers can delete data within their account and do not need to contact customer care to do so. But Then again, the privacy concerns also were fueled in part by a 2023 data breach, which I mentioned earlier, which also compromised the information of roughly 7 million 23andMe customers. If there's something about your family that you wouldn't want anyone to know, what would that be?
I can't put my finger on it right now or off the top of my head. Probably nothing at this point. But yeah, this really brings to the front a lot of different conversations, including how now data is so important and in some fashion regulations have not caught up with it, because when a company that's holding your data goes bankrupt, is the company that buys over the data obliged to hold or honor the pre-existing agreements? Because now you have that question being put forth, right? If these data points go into the wrong hands, they might be used against you, and you're thinking maybe insurance companies who might then find your ancestry or DNA roots might be more susceptible to some form of cancer, then they might not want to insure you for that. So there are many negative scenarios that this could play out.
Of course, yeah. When it comes to data, I mean, it's a pretty sensitive space that we're in. And while 23andMe did say that it will continue to operate during the sales process and the bankruptcy filing does not change how they store or protect personal data, any buyer will be required to comply with applicable laws with regard to the treatment of such information. That doesn't seem to be...
Applicable laws, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever that is. There's a lot of gray area in this space. But for now, because of the fact that it's not at least easing the concerns of many of the users out there, I'm going to go with a nod. What about yourself?
So this also goes back to the business model, right? You're testing your DNA, whatever it is. It's a one-off business, right? You're not going to test it twice or thrice. There's no recurring income. So as a business model, it did not really work. And I struggle to see how this is going to be successful business.
And that's exactly what our consensus rating forecast as of the 26th of March is telling us. We've got tip ranks, Yahoo and Barron's all giving it a strong sell against the stock. It's currently trading at 65 US cents. It's down more than 80% year to date. It was almost about $200 or $300 at its all-time high, Ryan. Just imagine the drop.
Wow.
Now, Ryan, did you know that the name 23andMe is derived from the 23 pairs of chromosomes in human DNA? And the idea of and connecting to DNA, and the me represents the customer's own genetic information.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. 23andMe.
Yeah, but Ryan, if you find that $60 to $80 to be too expensive for ancestry DNA kits, here's a cheaper alternative for you.
What is it?
Announce that you have won the lottery and you'll quickly find your relatives just coming to you.
That's actually a pretty good plan, but
Right?
yeah, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of different folks coming. I'm not sure who to believe.
Tons of that. Now, Ryan, what do you call someone with no German ancestry?
That'd be me, I guess. What do you call someone?
Gluten-free. And that's all we have for 23andMe.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.